Welcome back to Come Follow Christ. I'm your host, Jason, where I love helping you stay focused on Jesus Christ every day in every way. Today, I have an exciting new episode because Elder Gérald Caussé has been called to the quorum of the 12 apostles. When President Russell M. Nelson passed away in September, that made an opening in the quorum of the 12 because President Oaks moved up to become the new prophet, and Elder Caussé has now been called to fill that position, now filling the quorum of the 12 apostles back to its full roster size. And I just wanted to go over a little bit about his life history, a little bit about him so you can get to know him. I'm just going to read some from the press report, and then I've got a couple of other web pages that I'd like to be able to pull from, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along here. So, Elder Gérald Caussé is the newest member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He was called on Thursday, November 6, 2025, and ordained the same day by President Dallin H. Oaks and the other members of the First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. I've always had a testimony of Jesus Christ, Elder Caussé said on Thursday. He's always been the center of my life. I know Jesus Christ lives, and I know He's our Savior and Redeemer. What a wonderful thing it is to be a witness of Christ. That's the best responsibility or stewardship we might have in our lives. And then we'll just go over some of the photos here of him. This is him with his wife Valerie. And he is having a meeting here with United Nations World Food Program. Here he is with former NBA basketball player Jimmer Fredette, who also was a star at BYU. Here he is meeting with members with members of the political parties from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Here he is speaking at a devotional at Versailles, France. Meeting at the Global Distribution Center, Services Center in Salt Lake City. Here he is with John Schmidt from the Piano Guys. He is at the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake as part of a YSA conference. This is another photo from the Global Distribution Services Center. He was originally or just released as the presiding bishopric, and these are his two counselors. This is from the Washington, D.C. temple dedication from August of 2022. Here he is at the Bishop's Central Storehouse. And then these are the 5 presiding bishoprics from the church before President Hales passed away. And then meeting with French Polynesian President Eduard Frich. And then back to the beginning. So the report from the church continues. Apostles are special witnesses of the name of Christ throughout the world. They also engage in significant administrative responsibilities, overseeing the operation and development of a global church. The Quorum of the 12 Apostles is the second highest presiding body in the government of the church. They serve under the direction of the First Presidency, which includes the church president and 2 counselors. Elder Caussé, 62, is a native of Bordeaux, France. At the time of his call, he was in his 11th year of service as the church's presiding bishop. He was also the 3rd presiding bishop born outside of the United States, and the first of whom English is a second language. The presiding bishopric manages such matters as humanitarian aid, welfare programs, tithing and fast offerings, physical facilities, and the organization of membership records, among others. They also travel frequently to minister to church members around the world. If you would like to go to this website here, You can actually watch this video here of him speaking at the International Trade Summit, because even though he was a church leader, our church does a lot of global ministry and a lot of help with different countries, different help aids, different services. And so a lot of the major companies around the world like to work with us, because we have such good ways to be able to serve different communities and different cultures, because of how widespread our church is, how many different organizations that we're involved in. And so he was able to give a professional speech here as a member of the presiding bishopric. The the story continues. Elder Caussé also served as a counselor in the presiding bishopric from 2012 to 2015, and as a general authority 70 from 2008 to 2012. Born on May 20th, 1963, to Jean Caussé and Marie Blanche Bonnet Caussé, Elder Caussé moved to France when he was 19. There he served 1 year of military service. He began dating Valérie Babin, who he had known since they were children, when they were in the same ward in Paris. Both are second generation Latter day Saints. Elder Caussé's parents were baptized when he was 6 months old. Valérie's parents joined the church when she was 3 years old. They were married on August 5th, 1986, in the Bern, Switzerland temple, and they are the parents of 5 children. Elder Caussé's assignments as a general authority first took him and Valérie and 3 of their children to Germany, then later to the United States. The Caussés praised their children for enduring these difficult moves. That's not an easy thing to do, Elder Caussé said. We admire them for being so consecrated. They never complained. They moved with us and changed their lives. And those who stayed in France, we admire them for not having their parents nearby for 17 years. They encouraged us, Sister Caussé added. One of them told us she cried every night, but she didn't tell us anything beside encouragement. We're so proud of them. Part of Elder Caussé's ministry as a general authority has been to the rising generation. In August 2025, for example, he reminded young adults that the work of the Gathering of Israel is the most important thing taking place today. As Latter-day Saints, they are called to be part of it. And that is a quote that was originally from President Russell M. Nelson, that's the most important thing we can be doing, is gathering Israel on this side of the veil and on the other side of the veil. He continues, the church needs you. Not in spite of who you are, but because of who you are, Elder Caussé said. Each of you brings unique gifts and life experiences that are essential to fulfilling the Lord's purposes. The new apostle has also given significant addresses about the importance of caring for God's creations. At a conference in Brazil in 2023, for example, he spoke to 100 Latter-day Saint professionals about the church's approach to environmental sustainability. God has entrusted us with stewardship over his creations, including that of caring for his children, our brothers and sisters, Elder Caussé said. Acting in this stewardship is a way of sharing that love the Creator extends to us. Every disciple of Christ should feel the importance of blessing their families and the community in which they live. Most important has been his focus on the hope found in Jesus Christ, a topic he touched on his most recent General Conference address. This message of hope and comfort is for all of us, children of God, Elder Caussé said in April 2025. None of us can escape the challenges and limitations of mortality. After all, we are born with an inherent incapacity to save ourselves. Yet we have a loving Savior, and we know that it is by his grace that we are saved after all we can do. As we move to the next website, this shows all of the conference talks that Elder Caussé has given during his time all the way back to 2008. And I think that some of these are kind of interesting if you take them together. If you just read the title of it, it kind of actually reads a story as you go back, that even a child can understand ye are no more strangers. So we should prepare the way because it is all about people. A living witness of the living Christ, that's our earthly stewardship, can help us with compensating blessings. So I think that there's been a nice progression through his talks. I do invite you to go back. I'll make sure that I include this website in the comment description below. The next website is a much shorter one, but this, I just kind of wanted to go over this paragraph here, a little bit about his professional background. Elder Caussé received a master's degree in business from ESSEC in 1987. His career was in the food industry, where he worked with several supermarket chains and food distribution companies. At the time of his call as a General Authority 70 in 2008, he was the general manager of Pomona, a food distribution company in France. Now, one thing that I wanted to bring up next, and it is on this page here, which is the main page that they have used, or the main picture that they've used to announce his call. I thought it would be interesting to look up the song titles that were here, and this is from the YSA conference that he was at Versailles, France. And so I've kind of pulled those up so that we can look at those. So number 70 is Arise, O Glorious Zion. And I would like you to if you'd like to pause and be able to read some of this, you can. I'll go kind of slowly so that you can pause if you'd like to and read those lyrics. And then the next song is Father, This Hour Has Been One of Joy. And it's actually a very short one. Father, this hour has been one of joy. We thank thee for thy many blessings. Our hearts are filled with thy gracious love and thy tender caring. I would like to be one of the first ones to say that I sustain and I love Elder General Caussé. I sustain him as a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. I sustain him as one of the prophets, seers, and revelators on the earth today. I have had the privilege of listening to his talks over the years and have been touched by all of his General Conference talks, and I'm happy to make this video about him today, and I'm happy for his calling, even though it is a heavy mantle that has been placed upon his shoulders. Now, in some of my other videos, I've gone into meanings of names, and I think that it's very interesting about Elder Caussé's name, that his first name, Gérald, is a masculine name derived from Germanic languages that means to rule with a spear, or to spear and to rule. And then it ends up going into Norman French variant names. And so that the meaning is either bright spear or rule of the spear. And then his last name, Caussé, it refers to a limestone plateau or high barren plain, almost like a plateau that we would have here in the United States. So a ruler of the spear that rules from a high plateau. So his name is symbolically someone that rules from the high, safe ground. And what is the foundation of Christ? It is the safe ground. And how is Jesus going to be coming back soon? He's going to be coming back in power and great majesty as the ruler of the world, as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And I think that it's symbolic that this apostle that has just been called has a very strong name that that ties in with the second coming of Jesus Christ. So I'm going to make sure that I put the links in the description below. What I would like to ask you to do is leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions about our Caussé, or if there are any other topics or questions you'd like me to go over. And once again, I thank you for joining me today on Come Follow Christ, where I love helping you stay focused on Jesus Christ every day in every way.